Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Pekin Freeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Good evening and welcome to the round 3 of the Apex Racing League Mazda MX-5 Cup, broadcast live on the Apex Racing YouTube channel. I am James Parfitt and shortly I will be joined by Andy Thompson in the booth for this epic race this evening. Tonight we'll be at Mount Panorama and then on to Alton Park International on the 25th of October. On to November, and then on the 1st it will be the Classic Spa-Francorchamps. On the 8th will be Oran Park Grand Prix circuit. On the 15th will be Road Atlanta, then the Great Hockenheim on the 22nd of November. Then finally it will be Laguna Seca on the 29th of November, where we will crown the 2021 champion. Now, Mount Panorama, one of the world's legendary motor racing circuits. Australia's Mount Panorama, aka Bathurst to us who knows it well, is a throwback to an era when most motorsports events were staged on public roads. Located outside Bathurst, New South Wales, the 4-mile or 6.213 kilometres Mount Panorama circuit serves as public roadways when not being utilised for racing. Indeed, many adjacent businesses and residential properties can only be accessed using the roads comprising the circuit. So let's bring Andy in. Andy, welcome to the booth.
Thanks, James, and welcome back, mate.
Yeah, thanks, man. My brief little break last week. So Andy, tricky Mount Panorama. Tell us, what can we expect from the racing this evening?
Well, obviously, anybody who knows Mount Panorama is certainly one of the tricky tracks in iRacing. You got the best of both worlds, really. You've got a really fast second half of the section, but then you've got that really tight part in the mountain section going up through the cut in Reeds Park and then coming back down the mountain, which is probably going to be the treacherous part where we will see the most incidents within this racing, I think, tonight. So if we can, we'll try and get Samuli to pick up one of the drivers that maybe have just started, and we can try and get around a lap of race. Okay, we'll come back to that one anyway. Obviously, they're all around the halfway of the first lap, so we'll certainly come back to that one, James.
Yeah, it should be an interesting night, mate. I'm kind of really excited for what's going to happen here. Now, we've got Roberto Ferrari, okay? Absolutely speedy driver, has won 5 of the 6 races so far this season. Now, obviously, apart from trying to beat him on track, what do we think the drivers are going to have to do to beat him? Because he is so rapid. What can you do apart from, well, trying to get past him and stay in front of him? What do you think is going to be their idea for trying to beat him this evening?
Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge. If we have a look at the standard at the moment, we can see sort of the lead that he does have in the championship. So we see him there at the top on the 424. His nearest rival, 54 points behind him, Enrico Musumeci at the moment, and that's only after 2 rounds of racing. He's literally run 5 of the 6 rounds, and in the one he lost, I think he came second anyway, so he was there or thereabouts. And he's just so consistent. He had even on his reverse grids, he basically seems to manage to work his way through the field with ease and get at the front. It's going to be extremely difficult, but obviously Paolo Simonek hasn't really got on form yet, so maybe this is his round tonight. Ivan Pinocchio, who's a newcomer to the championship that only came in last round. We can see him there in 10th place. He's a very good, and in season 3 he did a great end of the season, so he's certainly in the shots as well. But it's hard to look past Roberto Ferrari. And in the AMS we've got Victor Lewandowski, so he joined season 2 for the last 3 rounds. Wasn't that good there, but what I think that did do was give him a really good foundation for this championship, which is probably what his goal was, to have a look. So we can see him there only on 307, a slim lead over Russ Fowler at 301 points, and our round 1 winner, Damien Mullen, who missed the last round, is there in 10th on 164, but they do have a drop round, so after round 4 that will come into effect, and that will probably push Damien back up the standings, because that would be his drop round at that time.
Yeah, so if anybody is new currently to the series and you've just jumped in, what can we expect, Andy, from the format for tonight? Because obviously most people don't understand what the format would be for a series like this, and what obviously us guys do to sort of make it more interesting. Can you just run through the format for this evening so people at home can get a rough idea of what it is we're looking at for these 3 races?
Yeah, of course. So they're obviously driving around in the MX-5. All the cars have got their fixed setups. So the way the meeting goes, and each and every meeting are exactly the same. We have 3 15-minute races. Race 1 is sorted by the 10-minute qualifying that we've got now. Race 2 is the results of race 1 with a reverse grid, and tonight it's 8 places for that race 2. And then race 3 is the finishing places of race 2 with a reverse grid, and that is of 12. So it's that's the format, and it seems very interesting. The guys really love it.
Yeah, so obviously, this reverse grid, there might be somebody sitting in YouTube and thinking, why? Why do that? What does it bring to the racing? Can you tell us, what's the dynamic of the reverse grid, and what do we as commentators and as viewers get from the purpose of it?
Well, I mean, it's probably one good word that comes to mind is carnage. It can cause a lot of carnage, but what it does do is it doesn't let the front runners just get away and have a boring time really up the front winning all the races. It gives the opportunity for the mid-pack racers to be at the front of the grid and see what they can do, and then we'll see if the front runners can actually make their way past the mid-pack. I mean, we can have anything from I think it's 6 places all the way up to 20-place reverse grid. So the reverse grids can be quite large, but it does bring action-packed racing and it just adds that different element to the rounds of not always having the same driver in first place. So it certainly mixes it up, and that's for sure.
Yeah. It's going to be, I'm a big fan of the reverse grid. I think it'd be amazing. Would I like to see it in another series like F1? Yeah, it would be good trying to see Lewis Hamilton battle from the back. But of course, that could be carnage that we have spoke about previously. But I think, as we jump on board with Rafael, who is just basically on his first qualifying lap, currently coming through McPhillian Park there, down into Skyline. Now, as we drop down, as you can see on the right-hand side, guys, we are in 4th gear at the moment, pushing in to the Skyline into the S's. So there we go. We're going to go first around the first pit. We're going to drop down into the dipper, and there you go. Around to the right-hand side. We're going to be on throttle at the moment. We're going to be trying keeping it as fast as we possibly can. We're dropping down into Forest Elbow, down into 1st gear, slow roll round, and then we're going to accelerate out all the way down the Conrod straight, all the way off onto the straight and over the hill. Now, Andy, this is a long straight, isn't it? Are we pinning our money that this is going to be the straight that we're going to see the most overtakes on?
I mean, certainly. I think we are coming down to the S's and the dipper now, down to Forest Elbows. I think you got a little bit ahead of yourself there, James. That was the mountain section that we were watching you on. So this is obviously coming down the dipper here. This is Forest Elbow, and I think this is the Conroy straight here, coming down here, I think coming down on Chase, I think. But yeah, that's certainly going to be the biggest place for the guys to overtake. The slipstream effect on these cars, as we've seen in previous rounds, is quite strong. And it will certainly make interesting viewing there. But one of the interesting parts of the track that we're going to be looking at is sort of the top half of the track going into the mountains. That's certainly going to be. But we can take you through the finishing positions here for race number 1. So we've got Rafael Drazak in 1st place, Paolo Simonek in 2nd, Roberto Ferrari in his unusual place of 3rd on the grid, Enrico Musumeci in 4th, Paul Hayden in 5th, Ronald Moons in 6th, Arias Yomantas in 7th, and we have the top of the Russ Fowler in 8th, Jens Goosen in 9th, Victor Lewandowski in 10th, Push to Prava in 11th, and Pedro Dominguez in 12th. 13th place we have Simeon Serrano, 14th we have Damien McMullen, 15th is Jay Wash, 16th is Hex Valentine, 17th is Ronald Uterek, 18th Ivan Pinocchio, pretty much a lot down the grid than I thought he would be, but we should see him fight back. Dan Skinner in 19th, Steve Cox 20th, Stephen Fredericks in 21st, Andrew Brahm 22nd, Nathan Healy in 23rd, and Panical Hydra in 24th.
Well, there you go, folks. There is the grid for this evening's race. It's going to be looking spicy with Ferrari in 3rd place at the moment. So here we go. You're going to grab your popcorn, get your drinks, buckle in, because we're going to have pure 15 minutes of absolute racing, full throttle from the moment we go green to the moment the end of the race. We're still waiting just for the last few to get onto the grid at the moment. So we're waiting for Brahma, Fredericks and Pinocchio at the moment. We're just going to be popping on from them, but we are literally 10 seconds going to be from the start of this race. And then we will see the lights, and then we're going to be going green for this evening's ARL Mazda Cup Round 3 from Bathurst. And I am excited. And here we go. There's the lights on your screen now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and we are green. And as you can see, Drazak has pulled away at the moment. He's got a good start. Simonek is tucked up behind him, and Ferrari is in 3rd as we come round Hell Corner for the first time out. We're going to be heading off now. Yomantis is on the 6th place. He is up 1 already from Rodden Wounds, who is tucked up right beside him there. As you can see on screen, Yomantis is on the right-hand side. We're coming down the mountain straight down into the 1st section of Quarry Bend. We've got Simonek and Drazak side by side going in. I think there's going to be Simonek's going to be taking the lead as we head up the hill. And so far, so good, and even nice and clean going into the mountain.
Yeah, not a lot of changes in the front half of the pick. Only the front 2 swapping positions, and then all the same all the way down to 8th place. The next mover is Victor Lewandowski, who's moved up from 10th to 9th. But this is the part of the track that the guys just need to be a little bit patient at and not try them lunging moves, because through the cut-ins it's extremely narrow and it's quite easy to get your car off, as we watch the cars like literally using the whole track, you know, probably even do a bit of wall surfing, and certainly when they come to the top end here, coming out of this corner on the wall on the right hand side. But at the moment all seem nice and smooth. We haven't seen any incidents yet, which is really good, but this is a certainly interesting part now where you got the cars this close together and coming down the other side of the mountain. Certainly in this section here where it's really tight and twisty, you know, one mistake and it could cause absolute chaos in the grid. But it all seems to be taking it nice and easy on this first lap, which is good. You know, you can never win it on the first lap. You can always certainly lose it.
Yeah, definitely. You know, there's been many a times when you've been watching a race and somebody misses the bottom of Forest Elbow and hits the brakes and just carries on going straight on. So let's give you a quick rundown at the moment. So we've got Simonek in first place, Drazak in second, Ferrari is still in third at the moment, Musumeci is in fourth, Hayden is in fifth, and Moons is down in seventh. Humantis is just, there you go on screen, guys, side by side at the moment. Car 171, Humantis takes the lead coming in. It takes the place from Moons into the chicane, so he's down in seventh. Fowler is in eighth. Lewandowski is up one place from 9th to 9th, and Goosens is down in 10th. So we've got 0.23 of a gap. We've got literally a second separating the top three. We've got car 176, Paul Hayden is trying to get alongside Musumeci at the moment, coming down the start-finish straight. There you can see Paul Hayden on the right-hand side of your screen and Musumeci on the left. And behind them has got Yamantis as well. He's waiting patiently. As you can see, Paul Hayden go through. Musumeci takes us, slots in behind him into currently 5th place, and Yamantis is pulled out on the right-hand side of your screen as you look at it at the moment as well. So we're looking at coming round the second lap now, and we've got these three cars together. Let's hope they can make it round Quarry Bend without any incidents.
Yeah, going 2x2 wide is always a bit sketchy going around Griffin's Bend. It's pushes your car out to the left anyway, but the guys are giving each other really a lot of room, so a lot of respect for the guys, and we haven't really had that major incidents, so all keeping it really nice and clean, which is really good, makes for some really interesting racing. But you know, at the moment the biggest mover is Ariel Germantis in the top 10, going up 2 places. The top 3 haven't really moved anywhere, so they're starting off, and Jozek has obviously managed to get past Simonek for the lead again in this race. So these 3 pulling out a little bit of a gap now over 4th place, but one little mistake and that can sort of bring them all back. And if they continue tripping over each other and fighting, but they seem to be doing it quite neatly. As we see there, Drazek hitting the wall slightly as you get in, luckily managing to save the car and not losing too much time. But you know, we've seen him come on in the last round. Obviously you weren't here. Drazek seems to come on a little bit of a form, and he's brought that form from Okayama into this round at the moment, and is currently leading over Simonek and Ferrari. So a great outing on this first lap with nearly 5 minutes gone.
Yeah, as we're heading down Conrad Straight at the moment, we're going to be coming down over the hill. We are full flat at the moment, as much as we possibly can, full throttle all the way down. See, Ferrari is pulled out onto the left-hand side of Simonek at the moment. Simonek's going to be on your screen, 1, 2, 3. As you look at him, 191 will be Ferrari's coming down. Is he going to take it? Simonek goes in very, very quick into that corner. Jazak, Simonek, Ferrari on the screen at the moment, literally less than a basic second, covering these 3 as we head down into the last corner, which is Murray's corner. We're going to be on the brakes. There you go, flick down in a second. You've got to wait for it to come round. It doesn't come round, you're not going to be able to get on that accelerator. So you hit it up straight, and off you go with these 3 again for another lap. Lap 3, 5 minutes, 15 seconds, nearly gone. We've got less than 10 minutes remaining. And at the moment, we've got Drazak in first, Simonek in second, Roberto Ferrari in third, Paul Hayden 4th, Yamantis in 5th, and Musumeci is in 6th. They've unfortunately lost out with the Hayden Yamantis Musumeci battle going up through the mountain. He's dropped down into 6th, Fowler in 7th, Moons in 8th, Lewandowski in 9th, and Prada in 10th as we head over the hill section coming down. I think Ferrari's looking, he's looking racy as he always does, Andy, isn't he? Is he going to be sitting in the car thinking, right, 9 minutes, where am I going to set this up? where am I going to overtake these guys? Because this is tricky up through here, and I don't like, from a sim racer's point of view, I don't like taking the corners, or taking the turns, or going for an overtake up here, because it can end in lyrical disaster, couldn't it, really?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is only one line up here. You've got to be a very brave racer to try and get too wide up here, because you can sort of see when the cars come out of the corner, they literally get pushed over to the other side. And as we were saying at the top, which is a great onboard view, this corner here, you sort of get pushed right out, and you nearly enough hit that wall on the right hand side there, scrape it. But what you need to do with this corner is take it really tight, because that mound on the right hand side, really deceiving. It's actually massive. You hit that and your car will be going airborne, and we've seen plenty of real life accidents there over the top of the mountain. But as you can see, coming down, it's literally like a big snaking pass, left right, just feathering that accelerator. But like you say, you can't really make a move, I don't think, into the mountain section, and very much coming down the Conrod Straight. And I will stand corrected, you was right where you were saying it. I got a bit ahead of myself. Is certainly the place to pass, and I think Ferrari is just seeing what you can do. Oh, as we see the issue there coming down.
Pinocchio, we've got 284. It was 284, 28. Was that Panicole, wasn't he, down in front of Lupil Racing down there as they come down into the section there. I think this is going to be what we're talking about. It's car light going around the corner, and then it's just too close. Look, there you go. And unfortunately, car 189 now of Pinocchio just goes into the back of High Ride there as we go down on. And that's the sort of thing when you're racing that close, isn't it, together through that section, Andy? It's the jeopardy. Because your car goes light, and it naturally does through the top end of the Skyline and through the S's. So it's managing to get the dip as it drops to still keep control of your car. And I think that's I'm surprised that's the only incident we've had so far.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, exactly as you said, you've also got the slipstream effect. So if you're right behind the cars, and as we saw just before that incident, you literally get a little bit of airborne coming off that lip, and you've got no chance of stopping. As we see a little bit of door rubbing here between Nathan Healy and Steve Cox there, number 17 at the back of this group. So a little bit of door rubbing, just to let him know he's there. But yeah, I mean, I've driven this track once, and like you say, it's a Marmite track, and I hate it. I just cannot get that mountain section at all. It was a 12-hour Bathurst I was going to do, and I've done a bit of practice beforehand, and I ended up not doing the 12 hours Bathurst, so I'm never doing this track if I can help it.
Yeah, I've done this. I've done this a few times in different cars. I've done it in endurance, I did a 4-hour Bathurst endurance, and I've also done it in the Radical. Now, you think the MX-5s goes like going into the S's, Andy? I'm telling you, nothing is on that Radical. When it heads down into that dipper, the S's, that's it. The front end is just loose. You're flying, and anything's happening after that. But as you can see, we have got your man is climbing all over the back, and Musumeci coming into the section that we were talking about, into Skyline, dropping down through the S's. Your car goes light on the way down. We've said this already. There you go. So you see there, your man is up on 3 wheels as we head down into the Forest Elbow section. And here we are. We're going to go right. We're going to hit the brake on the hill down. There you go. And flicking down all the way into first. We are on that big convoy straight run, and this is where, as we see Hayden in the background there, caught up with car number 169, which is Ronald Moons, and 227, which was Lewandowski. That worked out well for Lewandowski. It'll be interesting to see if Hayden has done the wonderful thing of dropping down in there, but at the moment, as we see, we've got Ferrari has got up into first place from third. We've got Drazak in second, Simonek in first. We come into the chicane section. Andy, I'm hoping now we haven't just watched the end of the race with Ferrari getting out in front and he's going to go and pull out. Are we, these guys have got to stay in the tow. They've got to stay as close as possible, regardless of where they are on the track, because if you lose that tow to Ferrari, you've lost the race, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we look at the fastest lap times, they're all very similar between these 3 drivers. So, the slipstream would come into effect. It'd be interesting to see how he took them, if those if Drusizek and Simonek were fighting over each other, and then Ferrari just nicked it on the line. But we see a fastest lap there, the first in the 1:31s at the moment, so really pushing on now. And I think he might have been biding his time on the last couple of laps, and maybe trying to put the hammer down, but at the moment not being able to get away, and Drusizek getting the slipstream, getting a really nice run here up the mountain straight. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. Probably stays nice behind him, but just need to make sure that he can keep with him on the mountain section to get that slipstream effect coming down the Conrod Straight. But these three almost glued together. You could pull a blanket over the three of them at the moment. They're that close to each other. So it's all about the skill, and it's going to be harder for the drivers behind, because you have got that slipstream effect. And as we saw with Pinocchio, if you get that close coming down the mountains, coming through Skyline and the S's and the Dipper, you know, you could run into the back of the car in front, so you really got to be careful of how close you are to the car in front. But as you can see, these guys are literally stuck to each other on the rear bumpers, these three. So it'll be interesting watching them coming down the mountain, and to see if they can keep it clean. And if they stick like this, it's going to be interesting down the Conrod Straight.
Yeah, definitely. We see Ferrari, Drusizek, Simonek going through. The S's jumping down the Skyline into the Dipper section at the moment, which there we go. We're going to be on now into Forest Elbow. Drusizek has got to stay close. If he's going to lose this position to Simonek, he's got to stay close as well to Ferrari to make sure he doesn't, because at the moment Simonek is going to have the toe as we head down the Conrod Straight, coming down into the chicane section at the bottom of this hill. As we all know, you've got to stay close. That toe is picking up. The gap is closing slowly, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to be losing that toe, I think, by the end of the next section going in the mountain, as we see Simonek pull out onto the right. You're normally going to want to take the inside, but I think Simonek has got the job done, and he's now on the chase for Ferrari. Are we going to see Drusizek now dropping off as the laps go on? We're 12.5 minutes in, as we can see 2 minutes 31 seconds 7.3, the fastest time for Ferrari. We'll see what he does on this one. But at the moment, guys, the top 10: Ferrari, Simonek, Drusizek, Musumeci, Mantis, Fowler, Hayden, Skinner, Lewandowski and Moons. You see Russ Fowler is the highest of the arms at the moment, as we're heading down into Hell Corner, and we're going to be, he's got to get this acceleration coming up down this straight, because otherwise he's in jeopardy of losing this place. Simonek is already through. Drusizek, you've got to stay on the back. He is going to be trying to keep up with Ferrari. You've got to try and keep on the back of him as we come down into this over the famous drop. Heading down, we're going to be looking at the left-hand side. As you can see there, the cars go to the right of the track, and then we're going to be bringing it in left-hand into third gear up the hill, and away we go. Andy, less than 2 minutes to go. Surely we're not going to see Ferrari 6 out of 7, are we?
Well, I mean, this is the last lap, so it's the last lap showdown at the moment. So, you know, as we saw in the last one, what happened to Drusizek there when we saw on the screen? He got a little bit squirrely coming out of one corner, and he literally carried that through all of the Skyline and the S's down into the Dipper, you know, and that's what gave Ferrari the little bit of lead. But give Simonek grass, but as we watch now, Simonek literally right on the back of Ferrari's car. So it's status quo as we had the last lap, although Simonek is currently in second place. So all Simonek needs to try and do is stick with him, but Ferrari is exceptionally good through these S's. As we watch back, you can see the cars look sort of sliding. You see there the decent air that the guys get off of that Dipper coming down, but you can just see how quick Ferrari is through this bit, pulling a slight little bit of the lead. Simonek managing to close it up a little bit, but he's got that tiniest of gap, 0.4 of a second now, which will affect the slipstream coming down here. So he won't be close enough to get the pass. He will be on the back of Ferrari by the end of it, but you know, we won't be able to do what he done on the last lap with Drusizek.
Yeah, as you can see now, Simonek coming down into the back of Ferrari with 0.5 seconds. He's pulled out onto the right-hand side. That's going to put him onto a good line into the right-hand kink. And there you go, Simonek. And as you said, he might not be able to do it. Drusizek's going through as well on Ferrari. Is this Ferrari first to third within the last chicane? It is at the moment. Simonek's on the right side. You just got to keep it on track just for Murray's corner. We're going to be down. Ferrari's come down back into second. I'm not sure Drusizek there maybe might have let him back through after the unfortunate there overtake. And there you go. Simonek is your winner for race 1 Ferrari comes across the line in 2nd place. Drazak in 3rd. Musumeci in 4th. Yamantis in 5th. Fowler 6th. Skinner is coming across the line in car number 173. There you go, 176 of Paul Hayden, 6th and 7th respectively. Lewandowski is in 9th place. Moons is in 10th. Prada is in 11th. Soriano is in 12th. Walsh in 13th. McMillan comes across the line in 14th. Cox 15th. Healy 16th. Van Uytryk in 17th. Valentine 18th. Goossens 19th. Fredericks will come across in 20th. Brahma, Horaide, Dominguez, and then Pinocchio a lap down. So honestly, Andy, in conjunction to how bad that could have been, that was respectively clean, wasn't it? You know what I mean? These guys kept it clean through the 7 laps that they did partake at Belfast.
Yeah, I mean, this league, they're all races on track, but you see in the Discord, there's a lot of respect for each of the drivers, and the last round was a bit of a hit fest around Okayama, and I think a lot of the guys are thinking, do you know what, we don't need to have that within this league, and pretty much come out and said, you know, let's race this one as racers, give each other the respect and space, and do it, and that was a brilliant example of how to race. Yeah, you're gonna have the odd moments where you clip into cars and stuff like that, but you know, on the whole, that was an extremely race round, what is a very difficult track to do. But I think you were exactly right there. Drazak gave Ferrari that place back. Obviously, was a bit ambitious going into the chase. And all respect to Drazak for letting Ferrari past, realising that it was an over-ambitious move that he had. But, you know, that's just a great... I mean, we did concentrate a lot on them from free. So we'll try and stick with a bit of the mid-pack during these second race,
Let's have a quick look, if we can, bring out the quick results from race 1 at this moment in time as well. That would be absolutely amazing. So the race 1 results will fly through as quickly as we can. Simonek in 1st, Ferrari in 2nd, Drazak in 3rd, Musumeci 4th, Yamantis in 5th, Fowler in 6th, Skinner in 7th, Hayden 8th, Lewandowski 9th, Moons 10th, Prada 11th, Soriano 12th, Walsh 13th, McMillan 14th, Cox 15th, Nathan Healy 16th, Van Uytryk 17th, Valentine 18th, Goossens 19th, Fredericks 20th, Brahma 21st, Horaide in 22nd, Dominguez 23rd, and Pinocchio lap down in 24th. Right, race 2. Woo.
So we have Paul Hayden on pole position, so he was our 8th place, so he takes the pole position. Dan Skinner in 2nd, Russ Fowler in 3rd, Arias Germantis in 4th, Enrico Musumeci in 5th, Rafael Drazak in 6th, Robert Ferrari in 7th, and Paul Simonek in 8th. So as we get the second race underway, and we are ready, and we are go
Green.
for race 2.
Yeah, so we are off for race 2. Hayden is in 1st at the moment, Skinner in 2nd, Fowler in 3rd, Yamantis in 4th, Musumeci 5th, Drazak 6th, Ferrari is in 7th. Now, these guys from Team OTR were really going to be looking to work together, I would have thought, as they come down for the first time down the Melton Straight, going up into Quarry Bend. It looks like Dan Skinner has got a bit of a jump on Paul Hayden. It's looking very quick. It's the same with Drazak at the moment, as we've got Musumeci on the side of the on the left-hand side of the screen. As you look at it in car 117 there, as you can see, Paul Hayden, Dan Skinner, Russ Fowler, Yamantis, Musumeci, Drazak is on the outside. That's not really an ideal where you want to be going into turn 1, lap 1, because you're still sitting on cold tyres. And as you've seen there, Musumeci retained the position for Drazak. Ferrari behind and Simonek behind him now, going up into the mountain section for the first time at the moment. Paul Hayden, Dan Skinner, Ross Fowler. Team OTR up front, Andy. Are we going to be looking at, really, in a theoretical point of view, these guys have really got to kind of work together, haven't they? If Paul Hayden knows that Dan Skinner's quicker, you've got to be letting him through, surely.
Well, you have, yeah. I mean, it's great options that you've got having your teammate in 1st and 2nd. These guys just need to get away a little bit. You know, they haven't had the best. Paul Hayden had a really good race up till the point he had a little bit of an incident coming out of Forest Elbow. You know, he was a strong contender up the front of the grid as we watch him here coming down through the S's and into the dipper. So got to work together, these two guys at the front. But, you know, what we've got to look at is the guy in third place. So Russ Fowler didn't really get a lot of mention. He was the AM winner in race number 1. Obviously, he's about 6 points behind Lewandowski. So he would have closed up the points there and possibly in the win. And at the moment, you know, he's in a commanding position in third place. And Lewandowski's in 10th, so he's got all the pros, but the pros will be lining up behind him to try and get him, so he's just got to try and keep him as best as he can to try and maximise the points that he can get. But at the moment he's in the ideal position, P3, and as long as he can keep it. Oh, it's here big.
So you're talking about Russ Fowler. Russ Fowler, Simonek, car 117, Musumeci involved as well, going down into the chicane. Unfortunately, we see what happened there. We were just bigging up poor Russ Fowler at the moment, saying how he was ahead of AMS, and the commentator's curse kicks in and Lewandowski takes the lead in the AMS at the moment. We'll see what we can get off the replay on that one when we queue it up ready to go. As you see, there's been big drops. But now here is the replay. We're coming over down the Conrad Straight at the moment. So we've got Fowler in front, haven't we, as well? There is Fowler, there's Simonek, there's Musumeci. Oh, Simonek hit Fowler, hit Musumeci. I think that was a different, honestly, Andy, I think that was a different braking zone area. Simonek clearly was not expecting Fowler to be braking as much as he did on that one, I think. You know, I think that's an unfortunate incident that we don't want to see, but I don't feel that there was any, you know, intentions of Ross Fowler there to be hitting them brakes as early as he did.
Well, I think it was Simonek hitting Germantus, and then Germantus hit into the back of Russ Fowler there. So I think Russ Fowler there was the complete bystander, and it was, I think it was Simonek that hit into the back. So, you know, maybe Simonek going a little bit too deep into that corner. You know, you've got to react to the car in front of you. You can't just take your own lines. You've got to react to the car in front of you, and you can't just brake. You know, we've got different abilities on the field. We've got pros and AMs. Obviously a different class of iRacing. Oh, we see a big issue there. Steve Cox hitting into the wall, coming up through the thing, and that's the treachery of trying to go too wide. As we see, he's popped his front right tyre. He will literally be limping that all the way home. I'll be surprised if he can get it home, but you can. That's the first tyre pop I've actually seen on iRacing, and probably get himself beached, didn't you?
Yeah, I've had a few, and just slight little taps, obviously not to the extent of that, and that unfortunately can happen. He's going to struggle down through this section to get any form of control over that car. As you can see there, coming down, he's going straight across as well. He's going to be more of a roadblock at the moment. Just please keep it nice and clean. As you see Panico Hyraidi there go through. It's going to be a long rest of the lap trying to get that back to the pits to get the repairs done. I think he's going to be plodding on for about another minute and a half coming around that section at the moment.
He's lucky he is where he is, I think he's lucky where he is.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Any further back and he would have, well, I just want to tow back, to be honest, but the tow time here is so long. I'm pretty sure he's trying to have a good go. But as you can see at the moment, we've got Team OTR still working well together with Skinner and Hayden out in front. Roberto and Ferrari in third at the moment. Simonek in fourth. Drazak in fifth. Ronald Moon in sixth. Lewandowski leader in the AMS at the moment. Pushtaprad in second. Soriano in third there in class. Now we're heading into lap 3. We've got less than 9 minutes to go. 2 minutes 32 seconds a lap, and at the moment the fastest lap is Simonek on a 2:31.17. So he is definitely a man on a mission as he is coming up to the back of Ferrari. He's going to want to be taking him as well to see, as he sees in the says in the done. You don't want to be in that position though going into the last lap, do you? Again, you kind of want to be almost, Andy, that car behind the person in front going into the last lap, because that long straight is such a big toe.
Yeah, it's like Road America, isn't it? You know, you want to be the second place car coming off that last corner because it's such a long straight. And as we saw in the previous race, you know, the slipstream is really strong. He was 0.4 of a second back. Didn't think he had a chance, and then he took him before he got into the chase. So extremely strong. As we watch these cars go too wide here, Germantus on the outside, managing to keep it nice and clean, these guys at the moment. So this is sort of the battle up to car 117, which is 10th place, Enrico Musumeci there. So this is a battle for 10th. We've got Musumeci, Healy, Germantus, Valentine, Cox. So a couple of amateurs on the back of the pros here at the moment. So yeah, doing a really good job here. Just feel sorry for Fowler, you know, obviously in that commanding third place, getting a unfortunate hit coming down into the chase, and he's currently sat down in 19th place as we watch Valentine taking a little bit of an alternate line there through that corner.
Tokyo drift into the S's there from Hex Valentine, absolutely insane, and managed to still keep it straight, which is an absolutely amazing job for you, sir. Well done as they come down into Forest Elbow. Steve Cox is behind him. Car number 288 Hex Valentine. Steve Cox is there as well. It's a tough race overall, Bathurst, isn't it? You know, regardless of cars, regardless of ability, I still feel this is that section, that mountain section alone, Andy, is one of the toughest parts of any circuit that I've raced. I can't think of another circuit that's got them such tough parts on it. So we see 237. Steve Cox and Hex Valentine. Steve Cox makes the move into the chicane. Does he make it stick though? He's got a bit of a slow entry at the moment. That leaves Hex Valentine the option to run up onto the right hand side. Is not normally the line you want to take going into Murray's corner. You're going to be wanted to be more on the inside. He's going to run you wide, so, and there you go. You've jeopardized, unfortunately. Now Van Uytrecht has got past as well, and it's at the back of the free. Yeah, I think this is one of that section in the middle end, one of the toughest circuits I've ever raced at all, without bar none.
It is, because you're trying to be fast always. We see at the front here, Ferrari trying to get past Hayden in second place. So trying to get all of the Team OTR boys up in first and second is Ferrari. But you've got the usual suspects there. It's almost like Jaws music, isn't it? You know, coming up behind you, Ferrari, Simic and Dazazek coming up behind Hayden. It's like...
Yeah, they're not the people I wouldn't recommend having in your rearview mirror at the moment you're looking. You know, the only good thing is you're coming into the mountain, and I think that's the thing for Paul Hayden. Going through, we know how quick Ferrari is, and as a relatively smart driver, Ferrari really shouldn't be looking at making his move going into the S's, the Dipper, the Skyline and the Elbow. But I think what Hayden's got to do is really try stay as close as he can to Skinner, because if Team OTR go too wide on Conrad Straight, that really doesn't leave anywhere for Ferrari to go, does it, Andy? And they may be able to survive another lap in the same positions.
I mean, I just love this view coming down the other side of the mountain. Just shows you how much the car's getting thrown to the left, to the right, and how close the guys are to the walls on either side, which sort of shows you that there's only one sort of line. But he's in the ideal position now, tucked up behind Hayden. Should be able to get the slipstream effect and get the pass done on Hayden coming down the Conrad Straight into straight. He may even be able to get both of them, because he'll get a nice slipstream now off Skinner, but I think he's holding up and he's doing the off-road track, trying to go around the outside. No way. I think we saw this in Summit Point. I think he did the same, and he's done it. He's managed to get on the grass into the lead of this race. I mean, we set up the start. Or, I mean, what does people have to do? You have to do that to try and beat him. I mean, that was just insane.
Yeah, I think Team OTR there will be kicking themselves, because they had a great opportunity to too wide that straight to the point where Ferrari couldn't get round. You know, they only had to leave a foot through the middle and take the right and take the left, and that unfortunately would have been Ferrari still stuck behind them. But now at the moment we are again in this same situation. We've got less than 5 minutes to go. We're on lap 5 at the moment. You know, we're going to have a look at this replay here. As you see, Hayden here, I thought, did the right thing, Andy. He went to the right. And then we've got, obviously, Skinner and the other Team OTR come to the left, but he didn't quite come far enough, which gave Ferrari that brief sniff going down there, which allowed him to take that extra little bit of runoff that's on the left-hand side as you come down. And then once you go into the chicane, Ferrari's got it all the way through. And as you can see, Drazak is climbing all over the back as well, trying to get through. And that's it. Team OTR.
I think you've got to give it to Team OTR. They did exactly what you did. They went too wide down there thinking you can't get past us. And then Ferrari decided, do you know what, I'm going to take the grass. And did, and took them both. Yeah. That is just insane. But, you know, what is interesting as well, a battle further back for the AM Championship. Victor Lewandowski currently in P7th and has Prava behind him, a.k.a. Austin, one of the commentators here on ARL. So it's certainly a hot battle in the amateur championship at the moment. Victor Lewandowski profiting from the incident that Russ Fowler had, currently still down in P19, so we'll get them points back that Russ Fowler got over on the first race and some more to boot. But certainly at the moment, Prava pushing Lewandowski all the way to try and get this race 2 AM victory done. So Lewandowski not having it all his own way in this second race here. So this certainly be an interesting battle unfolding. And we also have a battle here for P9 with Saraceno and 2 pros behind him, Musumeci and Germantas. So little battles and pockets forming all over the field.
Yeah, as we come down Conrad straight at the moment, Soriano, Musumeci and Germantas there as well. These guys are currently in 8th, 9th and 10th respectively. Not sure how much longer it's going to stay like that as we see Musumeci on the right hand side. Germantas is going to want to follow him through as we come down to the kink on the right, which we have done. We've gone to the right. Is this Germantas going to pull it out as well on Musumeci and get the job done into the chicane? He's not. He's sitting there right behind one by one. He knows he's got a last corner. We know we've got the start-finish straight, and then we know we've got the famous mountain straight before we go in. So Germantas might be biding this time. As we come down into Murray's corner, we're going to be on the brakes, looking for the exit as fast as we can get it. It's a very slippery corner. It seems to go on for ages, but literally it's not that long. You've just got to be able to put your gas down on your pedal as soon as you can. As we're coming down into Hull Corner now, the left-hander before you go out onto Mountain Straight. This is going to be the same situation with Germantas here to try and get that job done. But at the moment, we've got the situation of Ferrari, Drazak, Simonak, Skinner, Paul Hayden from Team OTR, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th as we head up once again around Quarry's Bend and into the cutting. Andy, like, this is the last lap, yeah? I think we're on the last lap now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Same situation. It's almost deja vu again, isn't it, for Ferrari? This is such a dangerous position with Conrad Straight because it is so long. Would you want to be in that position, Andy, or would you let Drazak through and think at least I've got the opportunity to tow you back? Because
it's a bit hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 50. You know, it's like what do they say, half a dozen of one and 6 of the other, or however the saying goes. But I don't know. It's going to be an interesting S's section now as we come down. Ferrari, Drazak, Simonek, Dan Skinner, Paul Hayden, all together. We've got literally about 1.1 seconds, if that, between 1st and 5th at the moment. Here we go. We're going to be dropping down into the dipper. Forest Elbow is there. Drazak is in an excellent position. Simonek is in an even better one. He's going to get the toe from Drazak coming down Conrad Straight. Drazak is going to get the toe for Ferrari. Same situation, Andy. 0.4 seconds back. And we are going down really quick. 2.9, 2.8, 2.7. It's 2.6 all the way down. Dropping down below the 0.2 mark. This is not a good position at this moment in time for Ferrari. Drazak pulls out to the left as you're looking at the screen. He's going to be wanting to try and take the chicane. This is going to end up either way. Drazak's either going to get it, and Ferrari is in 2nd place again, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, he was in no man's land going up through the mountain section. He couldn't let a car pass him because it's not really a passable place. You know, it was a bit of deja vu, exactly as you said it. You know, he was in the lead. He had a car 0.4 of a second. Oh, as we see Simonek take the wall a little bit there. So, he's got a puncture tyre. Is he going to take that 5th place? I think he's still going to keep it, but that was mighty close.
The car's on the left, and the wing mirrors hanging off, and Simonek crawls across the line.
You're going to want to crash. You want to crash it there, I suppose.
Yeah, at least as you say, we didn't have poor earlier with these guys up in the Forest Elbow. That was not your good place. But as we see Andrew Brahma here, he's in car number 267. He is in the middle with Hex Valentine and Friedrich as we come across the line in 14th, 15th, 16th place respectively.
Yeah.
Wow. if you're Ferrari, you're kind of 2 races in a row, Andy. 2 races lost it on that last straight. Surely he's got to be going into the 3rd race going, right, I cannot be first on the last lap. Like, you know, I've got to let them through somewhere, whether it be on mountain straight. As you say, the mountain section, you don't want to be trying to move over because that's just horrendous. But 2 out of 2 and he's lost it on the last lap. He's got to be thinking now, isn't he, going into race 3?
He certainly has. You know, he's lost out twice, being in the lead coming down Conrad Straight and losing it in the chase on both laps, both races. So he's going to have to do something different here. But just a quick shout out to one of our viewers, obviously softly. And we'll have to have a look back at it. But he's saying Simonek wasn't the one involved in that incident on that first lap that took Russ Fowler out. So if it wasn't Powell, then I do wholeheartedly apologise, and we might be able to find out who that was and let you wonderful viewers know. But a big shout out to our YouTube viewers who are pointing out the race to us. We don't always get it right up here in the box. We always try our best, don't we, James?
Yeah, we do. And as you say, as you can see, guys, the action happens so fast, you know, and poor Samuli's in the background trying to get cameras left, right and centre for us to be able to bring you the best possible action. So if we have got that wrong, as Andy says, hands up, we apologise. Initially, I thought it was Yamantis, but there you go. So here we go with a race 2 results. Drazak in first, Roberto Ferrari again, last lap, Conrad Straight losing it into the chase chicane. Unfortunately, he's in second, Dan Skinner third. Simonek got 4th, coming across the line on 3 wheels. So that was very interesting from him. Paul Hayden in 5th, Ronald Moon 6th, Lewandowski 7th, Prada in 8th, Musumeci 9th, Yamantis in 10th, Sariano in 11th, Healy 12th, Valentine 13th, Brahma in 14th, Fredericks in 15th, Benoitrek in 16th, Horade in 17th, Fowler, unfortunate incident, is in 18th, Steve Cox 19th, McMullen is in 20th, Walsh 21st, Pinocchio 22nd, Goosens 23rd, and Pedro Dominguez is in 24th. Wow, let's just take a moment. We've got race 3. Got to look, surely. We've got 5 minutes warm-up, Andy. Run us through our sponsors for today's broadcast.
Yeah, but before that, we'll have a quick break to catch our breath, James, and we'll run one of the videos for our sponsors. So we'll be right back just after this.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Real Fowler.
And Real Fowler is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Pekin Freeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Alright guys, and we are back. As you can see, we have a minute 10 left on the warm-up. Now, during that break, Andy, we were discussing Ferrari's options coming into race 3. You're in race 1 and 2. You've lost it on the Conrad Straight going into chase. If you were Ferrari, Andy, what would you be thinking about right now going into race 3?
Yeah, I think if you're in that position again into lap 3, he sort of needs to be in second position, and if that means losing a position or even 2 positions going down that mountain straight on the last lap, you know, I think that's what you're going to have to do, because if he's out the front again, he's just opening himself up for the same that we saw in race 1 and race 2. So I think he doesn't want to be doing that. So if he is leading this race, I think you might see him in this 3rd race just trying to lose a position going up through the mountain to get that slipstream effect coming down the Conrad Straight, because you know we've seen in 2 races now how powerful that slipstream is. 0.4 of a second behind, and then managing to get it done every single time on that first corner going into the chase. So he'll be mindful of that, but it'd be interesting to see what his tactics are in this 3rd race.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Frank Costa in chat at the moment. Maybe Ferrari needs more lucky in round 3. Well, we're not sure if luck is it, because he's very quick. Unfortunately, we're just trying to work out the strategy in the last lap for the poor young man who unfortunately has lost it. Such a shame, lost the lead on the last Conrad Straight going down into the chicane. Now, race 3, Andy, if you want to take us through, if we've got the grid, there you go.
We got our Am on the front row, Nathan Healy in first place, Simeon Sarah in second, Amir Jamantis in third, Eric Musamechi in fourth, Christian Palmer in fifth, Victor Lewandowski in sixth, Ronald Moons in seventh, Paul Hayden in eighth, Paweł Simonek in 9th, Dan Skinner in 10th, Roberto Ferrari in 11th, Rafael Jozek in 12th place. And 13th we have Hex Valentine, 14th Andrew Brahm, Yves Frederick, Ronald Vinutrek, Panaco Hydra, Russ Fowler, Steve Cox, Damien McMullen, James Walsh, Ivan Pinocchio, Jess Goose, and Pedro Dominguez at the back of the field. So that is our grid for race number 3.
Thank you very much for that. So we are coming in. We're just waiting Pedro Dominguez get onto the grid at the moment. We have got a minute there, sir. Oh, we are underway, actually. They're done and dropped out. So we're going to be going now, and we are off with Nathan Healy. Car 214 Soriano got a big slide and a big smoke come out the back there, but Nathan Healy takes the lead for SCCR Sim Sports on the first lap of race 3 at Bathurst. Now this is where the action is going to take place. As you can see on your screen at the moment, we've got Healy, Sariano, Yamantis, Musamechi, Prada, Moons, Hayden, Lewandowski, Simonek and Skinner. Moons and Hayden are up 1, Simonek is up 1, Lewandowski is down 3 at the moment. As we come in to the Quarry Bend, we've got Healy out in front, Yamantis, Musamechi, Sariano. I think that was a little bit of a yes, you go sir, on your way, you're quicker than me, I'm not going to fight you on the first lap. But this is where the fight is going to take place at the moment. Coming in to the left-hander, Healy, Yamantis is out at the moment, he's going to take him on the outside. Absolutely amazing, clean job there by Yamantis. Healy has now got Musamechi climbing all over the back of his exhaust. It's not somewhere that Musamechi should be looking to make a move into this mountain section. We've discussed plenty of times already how tricky this actually is. And we think this is going to be a Conrad Straight again, Andy. But again, oh, as we see there, that was, who was that on the team OTR? Was that Paul Hayden involved? And car number 214, wasn't it, at the moment? So who we got sliding down was Sariano. Sliding down the order. Look at the state of that MX-5. I'd be very surprised if you get that back in one piece there, sir. Going into that S's section as we go on to the replay now. Ronald Moons is at the back there. So we've got Hayden, car number 176 in front of us. It's Paul Hayden. Oh, we just caught the back end of that, didn't we?
Yeah, it was Sereno, I think, coming through that bend, and it was one of the OTR guys that were in front of him, and unfortunately Ronald Moons was a poor casualty of that one, and that's, you know, it's the first incident we've had here tonight, but I wasn't expecting it to be a little bit more. It's the first one we've had, so, you know, not too bad in 3, but poor for the round. Oh, as we see another spinner there coming out in no man's land.
Yeah, I think that was car number 1. Oh, it's all going off into, guys, last race. No, that's going to be a car park with numerous amounts of drivers involved. Russ Fowler is there as well, car 269. Jens Goosen, 273. Oh, that was just... What happened? I think that was Hex Valentine that spun. I'm going to put my neck on the chopping block. I think maybe Hex Valentine or that one of them had the accident in that section. And I think that's the problem with that mountain, isn't it, Andy? You spin, you block, and that's it. You're at traffic lights. It's a car park.
Yeah, it's definitely, and it's taken to race 3 till we've had it, but I did think that we was possibly going to have sort of that incident, and it's exactly like you said, one person just gets it wrong slightly, and it just causes a domino effect down the field, as we saw there. There's probably about 10 cars. I mean, at the moment, we've got 5 cars in the pits, that's just from one tiny incident coming up this mountain, because it's so narrow. You just got nowhere to go, and unfortunately, if you're coming around the corner and the car's spun in front of you, there's not a lot you can do. You're going to hit the guy, and that's the treacherous part of this track and this mountain section that we've seen. It's been really good racing in race 1s and 2, but unfortunately, we did have one slight spinner that sort of caused that domino effect down the field, and put paid to a lot of the guys' positions down the mid-pack.
Sorry, Andy, Ferrari there does the move done and pushed the Prada going in to the top part of the skyline and through the S's as we're on board with Simonek. He goes through as well. So we've had Simonek and Ferrari. Now that's not a conventional place there, Andy, to be whizzing past somebody dropping down into such a tricky section. It just goes to show the class that Ferrari and Simonek have. They got past Prada on the way down there.
Yeah, definitely. But these AM drivers at the front, they're not stupid. They know these pro drivers are going to be bearing down on them quite quick, and they will. And I know Prada, in previous rounds and previous series, he will just get out the way and race his own race. He knows that his race is in the AMs, not in the pros, so he will let the pros through. And I think what he did there was a very astute move, and just letting these two very fast guys through. Track that's probably not the safest, but as you saw him move right over to the right to give the space for the guys. So Pravda was playing very tactically there, trying to secure his 6th place to try and keep himself out of trouble and let these guys in front do their own little battles. So at the moment, Pravda's in 6th place, 2nd in the AMS, but Healy at the moment, obviously our pole sitter for this race, is still doing well. He's there in 4th place. With Simonek just on his insides, probably just about to go down to 5th place, but still keeping it nice, clean, and being at that front of that grid gets him out of all that carnage that was lap 2 of this race.
Yeah, as you see there, Nathan Healy, Simonek just goes past, coming down into Hell's Corner. He gets on his way, as we see car number 216 there, Jay Walsh, move out the way at the moment. You're going to have to stay there for a minute. You've got 2 more coming through there, Jay. Let them through, as you see, going up into hills. Excellent driving. Well done to you, young sir. So we'll give you a quick rundown as we enter into 9 minutes remaining. We've got Yamantis, Musumeci, 0.47 seconds back. They're in 1st and 2nd, respectively. There is Ferrari. There is Simonek as well. Healy is the lead AMS with Prada in 2nd. Razak is 7th overall. Skinner is 8th. Lewandowski 9th. Fredericks are your top 10. Now we've got this 8-minute period, Andy, where Ferrari is now in a better position. Yes, at the moment he's 2 seconds back, but judging by his pace, he's not going to stay 2 seconds back for long. But he's in a better position going into the late stages of this 3rd race than he has been really in the first 2 races, respectively.
Yeah, definitely. He's got that little bit of gap over Simonek, but he needs to try and maintain it, because if Simonek closes up again, and he'll just think, oh no, not again, if it comes down to sort of the last lap. So Ferrari just needs to keep his foot down, trying to keep and maintain that gap over Simonek in 4th place, and obviously try and put Musumeci and Germantis in between himself and Simonek. But the same thing, Ferrari could pass Germantis or Musumeci, who are not slow drivers by any stretch of the imagination. So if those two cling on to the back of Ferrari, he'll find himself in the same position again. So you know, it's got to be going through his head thinking, right, what am I going to do? Shall I just stay behind these two in front, just give it a little big longer train, and then just try and win it on the last lap? Because, you know, the tactics he put in the first two races haven't really worked for him.
No, as you see there, Musumeci passes Yamantis down in to the chicane, the chase chicane at the bottom of Conrad Straight. This is the same scenario we've had previously for the last two races. The only difference is now Ferrari is in a much better position. He's done a 2:32.17 last time out. Fastest lap of the race. He's just gone again on a 2:31.5 with Simonek on a 2:31.72. We are into lap 4 now. We have got less than 7 minutes remaining. We have got Musumeci, Yamantis, Ferrari, Simonek, Healy leader of the Hams, Prada second, Drazak is 7th overall, Skinner is in 8th, Lewandowski 9th, Fredericks 10th. As we see, Musumeci is being pressured by Yamantis, and Musumeci was quicker the last time out, but we're going to put that down to that Conrad Straight draft, which is played an absolute massive part in this race as we jump on board with Nathan Healy and Prada as they are entering up into the cutting at the moment. We're going to be taking the left-hander up into 4th. We're going to be flicking down into 2nd as we roll around the corner. We're going to be hoping that Drazak doesn't try and get past us, but I think, as we said before, Prada is a sensible driver. He may just look at jumping out the way to let Drazak through, but Andy, again, that's jeopardising his own race with Healy. So is he going to be more reluctant to do that? As we see Drazak go up the inside, not an ideal moment there, sir. Prada really does keep it clean. That could have been a lot more dangerous for the both of them. As we now see Dan Skinner and Team OTR go up the inside of Prada. Prada just gets out of the way at the top of the skyline into the S's. Now we've got Dan Skinner, Drazak and Healy really close together. Andy, 6 minutes. Ferrari's in 3rd, 2:31.5, caught right up into the back. Surely, I'm putting my head on the line here, Andy. He's going to be staying in this position. He can't make that move again, can he?
If you look at his lap time, he's literally a second, 2 seconds faster than these guys in front. So he's going to get out in front and then try and get that gap over Simonek, who's sort of on a similar line. So, you know, he's, as we saw there, great pass there from Yamantis. So he's got Musumeci in front of him, and he just needs to get past him and then put the pedal down. Because these two guys, although they're quick drivers, they're not on the pace that Ferrari and Simonek are at the moment. But if he can make clean passes over Musumeci here, and is his teammate, so he may actually let him past, he can have 2 cars between himself and his nearest rival, Simonek, who's on the same sort of pace. So it'd be interesting to see what they do. It'd be interesting to see if Musumeci lets Ferrari be, considering they are teammates out front. And just quickly before obviously we get into this heated battle, which is going to be, just a big shout out to our 3 main sponsors, Virtual Racing School, SDK Gaming and Apex Racing Academy. Virtual Racing School, if you want to improve your on-track iRacing, they've got 50 plus data packs, road and oval racing, setups, track guides, data analysis software and one-to-one coaching. Go over to virtualracingschool.com and see what they can do for you. And Apex Racing Academy also has 29 data packs, setups and track guides, and it's fully integrated with Virtual Racing School. So if you get the 2, you get the complete package to go together for all your iRacing track guides and setups. You also do weekly group coaching sessions and many more. Head over to apexracingac.com to see what they can do for you. But we can quickly rejoin the action now, James.
Yeah, as we see there, Musumeci is still held it from Ferrari, which I am quite surprised about. But maybe we're looking at the team orders, Andy, that we were expecting, of Musumeci not going to be trying to hold Ferrari up, but also he's not gonna, he's gonna let Ferrari through on this last lap. We've been in this situation. Ferrari's been in this situation. As soon as Simonek clears Yamantis, which I'm expecting him to do down into this next straight section, as we see Musumeci hit the wall there. Ferrari got through cleanly. Yamantis didn't, unfortunately. Simonek has now closed right up, and we are in the situation we didn't think we would be in. Ferrari out in front, Musumeci second, Yamantis third, and the ever-closing Simonek is in 4th place. Lap 5, 3 minutes to go. We can't, Andy, this can't be deja vu for Ferrari, and we're hoping Musumeci really does make that effort to keep. We see Simonek now go on the inside of Diamantis, coming down to the kink on the right. And there you go, Simonek is through. This is not, I can only, Andy, I'm being a cynic, but I can only see this going one way if Simonek clears Musumeci.
Well, yeah, exactly. I told you not to put your neck on the block. He's completely gone out in front again, trying to lead it from the off. Musumeci may be able to help out his teammate here if he can slow up Simonek, but we're certainly going to be on the last lap now. So Simonek needs to get him, and he's in the ideal position to try and pass him down this mountain straight as we're watching. Coming into Hell's Corner here. So got the whole of the mountain straight to get the move done on Eriko Musumeci to then get onto the tail of Ferrari. And if Ferrari sees Simonek car behind him going up through the mountain section, he's got to be feeling deja vu and thinking, what can I do here? He's literally gone to the inside, he's literally gone to the outside. I don't think there's any more places on the track he can do to save it as we watch Simonek pull out on Musumeci coming into Griffin Bend here, so not going to be able to get it done. So Musumeci managing to keep that second place. And I think Simonek is trying his best there. He was right on the back end of Musumeci, but I don't think he's going to get it done. So Musumeci's probably doing a really big favour here, Ferrari, just holding him up and letting him get away a little bit. But Simonek managing to get past him. Excellent move we see coming up here through the top end of the mountain section. So now Simonek can really put the gun down. He's 0.9 of a second behind Ferrari. So this is the biggest lead that Ferrari has had in this race. So it'll be interesting to see now what happens down the Conrad Straight.
Yeah, as he comes down into the mountain section, we're going to be going through McPhillian Park. Dropping down into the S's, we're looking at Simonek closing up to the back of Ferrari. He cleared Musumeci in a very unconventional place at the top of the mountain. We're dropping down through the skyline. Simonek has got to be thinking, I've just got to let this car run and hope I can hold it. Going into this last lap, dropping down into the Forest Elbow. We're going to go right, hit the brakes, down second. We're going to be looking to clear this and getting this on the gas. We want it now, and we are off. Going down the Conrad Straight. This is it. We are literally, we've got a second. And I don't know if he's close enough though. I think this could actually be Ferrari's race if he he's got that second gap, and the gap isn't coming down. It's coming down very slowly. He's saying that now we've dropped that second gap line, and we are closing now 9 all the way down 8, 9, 7, and we're still dropping. I don't think Simonek's get it, as we see Musumeci on the fences for Diamantis behind him. As we come into this chicane section now, we are past the time. And here we go. Is this going to be Ferrari's first race win of the evening after being in this situation for the last 2 races and unfortunately losing on this straight? And there you go. Ferrari has won the 3rd race of this evening. Probably thinks himself unlucky that he did not win the other 2. But well done, Ferrari. You cleared Musumeci at the right time. Unfortunately, Musumeci's tag on the wall. It would have been interesting to see as we come down for this battle at the from Pinocchio there. We're down in 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th at the moment. As you can see, car 189, which is Pinocchio from Fredericks. And they're still having a battle. There's a Van Uytrek as well next to Hex Valentine there coming down into the last corner. He's on the side of Russ Fowler, sorry. And it's going to be, Russ takes the curb, 217 there is Van Uytrek, 273 Fowler. We've got to run down to the line. Who's got it? I think Fowler may have just hung on to that one, Andy, but that was very tight. And we've got the same situation. Hex Valentine there, car 288. Ronald Moons has now jumped him down the straight. It's a very long straight coming down into the chase. We're going to be on the brakes very shortly. Letting it roll into the chase. We're going to try and keep it on the track. Ronald Moons was your 16th, 7th overall in class. Heading down now. I think he's got the job done. So well, fair play to Ronald Moons keeping it in front of Hex Valentine. I don't want to curse you too soon, sir. Please get around the last corner. Thank you. And off he goes. Ronald Moon. Hex Valentine crosses the line as well. Sariano crosses the line, and in the background we can see the team OTR of Paul Hayden, who was unfortunately involved in the hill section, the mountain section incident where we had just a car park. Unfortunately, Andrew Brahma crosses the line in 20th place as well. And as you can see from the bottom of your screen on the timing tower, we've got Cox and Dominguez out of this race, as we see Pancode Horaide coming down into the chase chicane. And that is that for this evening. Is going to be last. I think we've got Walsh. Is he still going? Who's coming across at the moment? There he is, getting the flag from Barney, the flag bearer, and Horaide coming down into as well and taking the last. I believe is in 21st position. Andy.
Yeah, definitely great racing tonight. You know, we've been entertained from the first to the last race. Obviously, we had a bit of an incident there in race number 3, but I think it was going to happen tonight. And you know, you're going to have one car that makes a slight mistake going over that mountain section, and it just causes chaos down the field. But you know, a big shout out to the drivers. You know, that round was amazing to watch. There was, you know, a lot of respect to each other, giving each other the room. So a big shout out to all the drivers in that, which has made the 3 rounds tonight for me.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely exceptional night of racing. I was really hoping that, unfortunately, Roberto Ferrari had not stuck himself in that position, but I think that unfortunately the Musumeci tagging the wall and may have letting him through at the top of that mountain section, to be fair to him, may have actually saved him, Andy, because I think if that hadn't have happened, that would have backed Ferrari right into Simonek there as well, and we could have been seeing the same situation over again in race 3. But there we go, we're going to have the race 3 results for you right now. As you see, Roberto Ferrari in first place, Simonek in 2nd, Musumeci is in 3rd, Yamantis is in 4th, Drazak is in 5th, Skinner is 6th, Healy first in the ARMS there is in 7th, Prada 2nd in the ARMS is in 8th overall, Lewandowski 9th, Goossens 10th, McMullen is in 11th, Pinocchio is down in 12th, Friedrich 13th, Russ Fowler in 14th, Van Uytrecht in 15th, Moons in 16th, Valentine in 17th, Sariano in 18th, Paul Hayden in 19th, Brahma in 20th, Panicode Horaide in 21st, Jay Walsh in 22nd, Steve Cox and Pedro Dominguez unfortunately did not finish the race. No. Oh, Andy, I don't know about you, buddy. Just a minute to catch me breath. You know, that was just insane, didn't it? And to be fair to these guys, they kept it really clean going into this 3rd race, and it just seems to be this 3rd race that seems to have caught some of the drivers out, and obviously the car park incident in the mountain, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think Roberto Ferrari needs to buy Enrico Musumeci a beer on that one, because I think it was the fact that he was slightly holding up Power Simonek coming over the mountain that gave Roberto Ferrari that slight edge that he didn't have in race 1 and 2, that was able to keep it and get that race 3 victories. So that was the difference between race 1 and 2 and race 3, was that 0.6 of a second advantage that he had that he didn't have in them first 2 races. So I think obviously Musumeci did the team proud there and just held off Simonek just that slight bit that he didn't have that slipstream to be able to get up on the back of Roberto Ferrari. So at least it wasn't deja vu for all 3 races.
Yeah, that's it at the moment. You see, there's a couple of drivers waiting in the waiting room, Andy. So out there 3 with Damien Mullen, Hex Valentine and Nathan Healy. Should we bring in Nathan Healy from the ARMS to see how his evening has gone? He's obviously won the first race in the ARMS for this evening. Nathan, welcome in.
Good evening.
How are you?
Tired after that one.
What, the 3rd one? That was absolutely incredible. You've done so well to keep the car where you are. You know, you've got to be happy with that. Winner of the ARMS in the 3rd race.
Oh, I was delighted with that one. I was like, I didn't realize I was going to be on pole for the 3rd one until I looked up and like, oh, I'm on pole. This is going to be fun. But yeah, no, trying to keep the pros behind as long as possible, and then trying to fighting off Austin for the last few laps was unbelievable. But fantastic racing in the last by myself. Like, qualifying wasn't great. I don't think I even got a lap in. Like, unsafe exit coming out, but it is what it is. But great redemption in the last one.
Yeah, you did really well coming into this 1st race. What was your fault in the 1st race when you sat in pole? You know, as an AM driver, were you sitting there thinking, right, I've got to try and stay ahead, or my battle isn't with these pros behind me. I'm going to let them go, and I'm going to try and fight my position in the AMs. You know, did you go in trying to keep them behind you, or did you go in kind of thinking, I'm going to just let these guys get on with it? They're going to be up there anyway.
Well, I kind of went in with kind of the elbows out, try keeping back as long as I can. I know they are way faster than me, and I've raced with Arturo Chimenez quite a bit, and I know he's quick. So I was like, once he was behind me, I was like, he's just going to pass me anyway. So just kind of keeping back as long as I could to kind of keep the gap between me and Austin for the last lap, for the last few laps, and then eventually they just passed me because they're much quicker down the back straight than I was.
Yeah. But you still put up an amazing fight. We're just watching on the screen at the moment. We've got Jizak going past you, coming down into the chase chicane. You know, did you kind of get towards the end of the third race? Did you kind of sit there think, I'm in the lead here of the AMs. I need to be careful, and I'm getting a little bit excited because I know that happens to me all the time when I'm in the lead. I get excited and make silly mistakes at the end. Were you just trying to keep it on track for the last few laps?
I was just trying to keep reminding myself of my braking points because literally, as of only last Friday, I've actually changed my pedals over, so I'm still getting used to them. So it's still trying to just remember my braking points. And lucky enough with these pedals, they're a lot easier to use as they're hydraulics. So it's down to more pressure than anything else. But once you feel anything, you just let off. It's a lot easier. But yeah, excited wasn't. It was an understatement coming into like the last kink down the back straight. I'm like, okay, I have 0.8 gap to Austin. I was like, if I can hold that, I have it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic racing.
So Alton Park next. Are you going to be jumping into a practice and trying to get that sort of bedded into yourself as quickly as possible?
Oh yes, I'll definitely be doing some Alton Park. I like Alton Park. I know this round I think it's without the chicanes, so that's going to be new. But Alton Park's fun. It's great racing there.
Yeah, thank you very much. Nathan Healy there from SCCR Sim Sports, the winner of your AM race 3 this evening. Congratulations, Nathan, and look forward to seeing you at Alton Park.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good one, and thank you for a fantastic service.
No worries. Andy, who would you like to have a chat to next, sir?
Okay, let's bring in Krishna Prava, aka our resident placebo, Austin Knight, one of our commentators. Hi, Austin. Welcome to the Vinx. So, I mean, tonight, completely different than Okayama. It seemed very good race, very close, and obviously getting 2 second place AMs. I suppose you've got to be thinking, what have I got to do to win an AM race here?
Well, I've already won one AM race at Imola. Well, after that, everything went all right. But hey, I'm not dead.
I mean, it seemed that. I mean, Bathurst is notoriously a hard track to race, certainly going into the mountain section.
Yes, and my preparation for this was a non-stop playing session of New World. So I didn't really put myself in the best mindset for this. But thanks to Apex Racing Academy and that wonderful track guide by Elvis Rakin due to my silver subscription, I got a very understanding of how to drive this track in the shortest amount of time possible.
I mean, you did very well, obviously.
I didn't read that ad read, so I just take that credit. Yeah, 2 P2s, and I believe 3rd in race 1.
Yeah, so overall, you know, podiums on all 3 racing. I mean, how do you like Bathurst? Is it one of the tracks you do like?
No. I saw this on the track. I saw this on the schedule. I'm just like, who made this schedule? Why? I'm just going to go for the jump after each race, and you know, I actually nailed the jump after the last race, and I kept on driving. I thought about making an overtake through there, but I don't want to be banned from iRacing.
Yeah, we're not in Super Trucks at the moment, so you can't do that.
It's not the Super Trucks lead, but hey, that's going to be fun. That's your territory.
It is indeed, but you know, obviously, considering you actually don't like the track, to get 3 podiums and get a good points haul that's fantastic. And obviously,
this is the best finish ever.
Yeah, we did watch you on stream, and as I was commentating on you, that you know you had all them pro drivers around you, and James was saying obviously done a lot of moves, but I sort of said that I bet you let them pass. Did you actually let them pass, and like you normally do, just so you're racing your own race?
After the first one sent it down into the inside, I believe, I don't know who, it was Ferrari who sent it down the drip drop, the dipper.
Yeah, the dipper at the top.
The dipper. I went, holy crap, this guy has balls, and I just let him. I started just going back to my Formula V days, just letting everyone buy it. I just realized what I said on stream.
Yeah, at least it's past the 9 o'clock watershed, so you should be okay with that.
Okay, we're good. Don't kill me, Lee. I'm a driver in this.
So we got Alton Park next. Where's that lie on the Austin Knights tracks of love and hate?
It's down there in the trash bin, and I think on fire. I am not sure. I'm not a fan of the place. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know which layout it is. Is it the one with the chicanes or not the chicanes?
Not the chicanes.
Okay, it's slightly better.
Is there any track you do like, Dusty?
Circuit of the Americas, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Circuit of the Americas, Watkins Glen, Circuit of the Americas, Barber, Circuit of the Americas, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, especially the Oval, Circuit of the Americas, and Laguna Seca, and Circuit of the Americas.
Okay, so Bathurst then, yeah? Okay. But anyway, mate, you know, obviously getting a third and 2 seconds in a race that you hate, I hate to see what you're going to be like on one you actually love. So, you know.
Hopefully it's more P1s. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we shall see. So, thanks for joining us, mate, in the commentary box. Would you like to give a shout out to anyone?
Yeah, thank you to all my friends over at Lead Paw Racing, Pan and Hex. They're always fun to be around, and they had a good race here today as well. Sometimes here as well. Our goal was to not die, and I think we all had much better races than at Okayama. Also, I want to give a shout out to Artesian Builds, my lovely computer sponsor. Everyone over at Artesian Builds is awesome. And if you want to have some of the best custom PCs built for you, go to artesianbuilds.com. Use code PRAVA_210 for up to $200 off. Everyone at Apex Racing Academy for their lovely track guides to help me somehow get through Bathurst without dying. And I need to say, I hope everything is going well with my grandmother. She was just put in the hospital for pneumonia, so her condition's on the edge right now. I had my phone on my side right there, and you know, I'm every text I'm just looking down, just hoping everything gets better for her. So hopefully, Grandma, you're all right.
Big shout out from us here at Apex Racing TV to your grandma Austin. Hope she gets better soon, mate.
I just got a call from my dad. Yeah, y'all have a good night. Thank you.
And you too, mate. And look forward to seeing you next week. So that was Austin Knight, aka Pushta Prava, having a third place in 2 seconds for somebody who hates the track, James. He did rather well.
Yeah, as you say, mate, this is a Marmite track, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it. I love it to the point of where I don't have to do the S's and the dipper. Then it becomes the other side of the bread. Do you know what I mean? It is a nice course. It is a fast course, and it is it's a very taxing on your arms course if you're in an endurance course. But yeah, I think Prada did well going in, to the positions that he got for a man that, as you say, by the seams of it, only drove the track sort of a day ago, didn't he, really? So, you know, there you go. So, Andy, take us through the week's racing we've got coming up on Apex Racing TV's YouTube channel.
Yeah, so obviously we have this on Monday night, which is currently in round 3. On Tuesdays, tomorrow, we got the brand new GT Trophy AM League. So we saw the entertaining racing on the Pro season, and you can come and join the AM season. So there's still open spots, so head over to apexracingleague.com and sign up for that. On Wednesdays, we have just finished the Radicals, and I believe we are looking at a possible Super Truck series on another one, so you need to be getting into that, guys. If you've not heard about it, go and have a look at it the previous season. Absolutely epic. On Thursdays, what do we have on Thursdays? Oh, we got a brand new NASCAR, I think it's B Trucks season starting up very shortly, so still places available on that. Fridays we got the Porsche 922 Cup, which is currently on round number 5, so that's really heating up on there. And on Saturdays we got the Formula 2.0 championships going on, and on Sundays at the moment is 3, but I'm pretty sure that we will have the GT e-cars coming back pretty soon. So we also have a lot of other series from elsewhere, all different time zones. So head over to apexracingtv.com/schedule, and also look at our social media page on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Just look for the username Apex Racing TV and you get all the information on there.
Excellent. Well, guys, thank you very much for this evening. Thank you, Andy, for joining me in the booth, and thank you as ever for Samuli supplying our amazing production in the background. But guys, for now, for us at Apex Racing TV, from me, from Andy and from Samuli, good night, have a safe week, and we'll catch you in the next one.